Live from New York, it's the show that is still a work in progress. We're trying out some new things. It's the second hour of First Things First. Today, Prediction Week rolls on for the NBA segment that is a rich tapestry of history, potential, and performance. Now, some people call it Mahomes Mountain NBA edition when we had the snow. That's not what we're calling it. We're calling it, and it's named after LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's why we have the crown here.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And a hill. We have a hill.
NBA King of the Hill.
You know the other reason, Wilds?
What?
King of the Hill, you know this. You're a big basketball player. Bruno, that's a game people play and pick up basketball. King of the Hill, King of the Mountain, like
It's called King of the Court.
King of the, yeah, exactly.
You play it on a hill, though.
No, you don't. But again, we're trying to make it work. So, all right, rules same as Mahomes Mountain. Maximum 28 players, 7-row mountain or hill as it is. But people fall off. Oh. It is not a slippery mountain.
What is it?
It is more of a dew-covered hill. You can slip a bit. So we have our first people off the hill. Listen, Tyrese Maxey and Trae Young, they've been out. They've been hurt. They haven't played. And the hill can, be fickle when it comes to who is punished for injuries and who isn't. But Maxey and Trae fall off. Bam's played, just hasn't played well. And Miami's not only lost 3 straight, they lost once to Washington, which counts as 3 losses. So he's off. All right, 7th row. Donovan, again, he falls due to his absence. PG, Paolo, and Kyrie stay where they are. And welcome to the hill.
Let's go.
Zion, Sabonis, and Wilds' guy, Şengün. Shout out Şengün. Now, it might be a short-lived stay on the hill because he is dealing with an injury.
Okay, we're
but
happy to be here.
He got a gold medal last week. He had the best game of his career. He was able to avoid major injury. He makes the mountain. Pels have won 4 straight, and Sabonis has been playing great. Row 6, Jaylen Brown moving up. Jalen Brunson moving down. Again, not Brunson's fault, but he has missed some time due to injury. Murray, Fox, Booker, and Halliburton stay exactly where they are. And it's nice to see Halliburton turn it on a bit in some spots. He's had a rough stretch. 5th row, Steph drops due to injury. Jimmy drops for the same what Rose looks
No, that was my suggestion last week.
Okay, yeah, and good job. And his suggestion was Jimmy. Jimmy drops. They've lost 3 in a row. Like I said, the same thing with Bam. You lose to the Wizards. Miami, I understand that you really turn it on come the playoffs. You got like 20 games left. You don't want to be the 9 seed. They win some games. Dame time. Dame 31-8. 50, 46, 96 splits since our last version of the hill. So he moves up. Kawhi and AD stay where they are. 4th row, Tatum had a rough week. LeBron had a great week, but there's not room for him to move up. Anthony Edwards didn't really have a great week, but he had such a great moment within the week, the block, the 44-point game, trying to keep them afloat without Karl-Anthony Towns. He moves up. Shai and LeBron stay where they are. All right, 3rd row. Now, let me say this about Joel Embiid, because we've moved a lot of people down because they've missed a week or 2. Embiid's missed quite a bit of time. However, he's the defending MVP. He's averaged 35 a game this year. And if I'm going to have him anywhere on the hill, it has got to be up there. So it's a weird thing. I understand it's not totally consistent. Luka, thank you, Wilds. Luka, just, 37, 11, and 12 seemingly every night. And then there's Kevin Durant, who was already having a monster year, who, if he was just shooting better from the free throw line, he would be a 53, 43, 90 guy. Instead, he's 53, 43, 85. But in the last week, he's averaging 38.7 rebounds, 5 assists on 54, 47 splits, and just seems to be damn near as good as ever at 35 years old. Now, this part of the hill last week was controversial. We do, Brew, have some movement.
Oh.
Last week, if you remember, Giannis was at the top. Giannis moves down.
That's fair.
So Giannis moves down. Now, luckily, Brew, he overcame writhing in pain from the Achilles and didn't. We thought going into the hill last week, Giannis could be out weeks. Wilds Mint Wincing said writhing. And his numbers have been great, but since the last edition of the hill, they did lose by 35 points. And they lost by 35 points to the Lakers, who is a team Nikola Jokic has not lost to, I think, since the bubble or thereabouts. It's been quite some time. So that means the very top of the hill is vacant.
Wow.
And that doesn't mean it's going. What, were you big surprised? You thought there was someone we had forgotten?
I know, but now it's official.
So I am not saying, and again, we have predictions week continuing in the next segment. But you guys know I already picked Milwaukee to make the Eastern Finals. They have a 2-time MVP, a 1-time champion, a 1-time Finals MVP. Denver has a 2-time MVP, a 1-time champion, a 1-time Finals MVP. I wonder if those two people could meet in the finals potentially, fight for the euphemistic crown that always sits atop LeBron James's head, but maybe for the, the king of the NBA hill. But right now, that top spot is vacant.
So are you saying it's going to remain vacant?
I'm not. No. I'm not. Certainly not saying that. Again, the hill is like, a rich tapestry, as Wild just said. But right now it is. I couldn't pick between Jokic and Giannis. Last week, we put Giannis atop. This week,
well, my source, Wild, tells me it's left to right.
Again, it's not.
Again, the committee is Wednesdays. This is just me alone watching poker on TV and reading, and scouring.
All right, not a bad mountain, Nick.
Thank you.
Jokic, I think, should be on top. But I'm going to focus on SGA.
Okay.
I would switch. You're right, Kevin Durant's having a great year, but guess who's having an even better year?
Wow.
SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Switch SGA and KG.
KD also.
KD, I'm sorry. And so here's why I say it. First of all, he's averaging more points than Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant's claim to fame, obviously, is scoring. But SGA is even scoring more, averaging 31 points a game, second most in the league. And assists, SGA averages one more. Rebounds, KD averages one more.
Sure.
SGA even a little bit more efficient from 2 overall, but not from 3. But, Nick, SGA also leads the league in steals. He's the only player in the NBA with 2 or more steals a game, and that's on a team that's a top 5 defensive team.
Good defense.
So he defends. He is a good defender. One thing I like about these 2 young guards, him and Anthony Edwards, both of them defend. So I love that. But that's the first reason. I think individually he's been a little bit more impressive. The second thing is this, Nick. They are the top seed in the West. We know Phoenix is the 6th seed. Now, he's the top seed with his second leading scorer, Jalen Williams, a second-year player. And then his third leading scorer, Chet Holmgren, a rookie. And then Lou Dort is like the most senior starter with 5 years in the league. Giddey's like in his 4th year, I think. So they are a young team. He's got them as the top seed in the West, which we know is a great conference. And Durant, now I get it, they've had some injuries.
Yeah.
But you got a superstar in Devin Booker with you. You've got Bradley Beal. I know he's been banged up, but he's an all-star. Nurkic is averaging a double-double, and there's nobody on OKC who's near a double-double. And so I think with that veteran-laden, talented cast, KD isn't lifting them even close to as high
so that's
as Shai is
interesting
listing
because you're totally right that Booker's got more name recognition, accolades, and is a better player than anyone else on the Thunder. I think the Thunder are a better, takes SGA and KD off their teams. I like the Thunder way more than I like the Suns. So I don't look at it like SGA is raising. Listen,
I think if you switch KD and SGA, I don't think OKC's as good.
Oh, really?
Really, yep.
Oh, see, and I think the opposite. I think that OKC is just as good, and I think Phoenix is in, I don't want to say trouble. Phoenix will be fine. Phoenix is probably in a similar spot. So, and again, I want to be clear here. I think SGA is a legitimate MVP candidate. I think he's been great. I just think the rest of the Thunder, because they're young and because they don't have the accolades, in my opinion, you're discounting them. I don't want to say discounting
them.
They're
not bad. They're good players. I'm just saying the youth. That's unusual for a guy to take so many young players. He's young himself, but taking so many young players and being the #1 seed.
I'll meet you in the middle, bro. Why don't you leave KD where he is on the hill? Move Luka down. Switch SGA with Luka. Just call me old-fashioned, everybody. And I know he won Player of the Week, and they've won 3 games in a row. Since the All-Star break, the Dallas Mavericks are 5-5. And you might say, well, Wild, so let's look at their numbers. Well, Joker, Giannis, and Luka. Ideally, the top 3 guys on the hill. Points, Luka, rolling. Rebounds, still pretty good for Luka. 11 assists is excellent too. Win-loss, 9-1 for Joker. 6-2 for Giannis. He missed a game, but they still won. And 5-5 for Luka Doncic and the Mavs. You might say, hey, how's their defensive rating since the All-Star break? Good question, Brew. Dead last. Dead last. Now, is that like a scheme thing? Is that just bad luck? I'm not saying we're going to grind the all 10 later on, but this is simple stuff. Second chance points, they're 23rd. Fast break points, they're 19th. Defensive rating is 121.
You're blaming Luka for their second chance points they've given up? That's on Luka. This is
what's up? What? Nothing's on Luka. The fact
I'm
that
not saying
5 is not on Luka.
Some of the defense. But hold on. I have a question for you, Brew. I usually get to ask Wilds this on Wednesdays during NFL season. This is King of the Hill. What is this not?
The USA Today Power Rank.
Or the standings. Are
we looking for complete players or not?
No.
He's one spot above Giannis, who gives 100% on both sides of the floor.
He's not.
He's above SGA, who gives 100% on both ends of the floor. Luka scores points.
First
the
of all,
Mavs lose, and it's like, what's going on with the Mavs? The other guys that he's passing the ball to are doing 87%.
2 points.
Play some defense.
2 points. One is, and again, I'm not disparaging SGA, but are we sure SGA's steals are real steals, or like Jordan in the 80s home cooking steals?
Oh, shots at Jordan. We're done with the 90s, dude.
Listen, your buddy Pablo Torre did a great expose on that with Tom Haberstroh. I look forward to more on it. Wilds.
Yeah?
Since the last edition of King of the Hill.
Yeah, 3-0.
Have the Mavs lost?
No, they're 3-0.
Is Luka averaging a 38-point triple-double?
Yeah, 37.7, 10, 3, and 11 assists.
Okay. And you want me to move him down based on this week? They're undefeated by your metric of team wins.
Well, so I think the Pelicans have 4 wins. I don't see Zion flying.
Zion did make he made it. He got up there.
I didn't see him.
He was at the bottom.
Play some defense. You're dead
I'm
last.
busy looking at Şengün.
Dead last. Dead last, bro?
The defense is bad.
You think?
I just need Luka to show a commitment. Fake it. Make it look like you're trying to defend.
It looks like he's trying. It does. It's just not working.
That segment's getting better.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.